What's going on, guys? Do you want to go from this to this? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to teach you step by step on how I did with no contractors and no help. I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, the first step to any job really is to have everything ready. Tools, your materials, have everything laid out and organized so that way you pick it up fast. Yeah, this is my setup right here. Alright, let's get started. First thing, just like with any other project, you're gonna mark where you're gonna end off your carpet. If you're not coming out to the hallway, you always wanna mark where you're gonna cut. I usually like to leave my reveal right where the door meets the door jamb. And remember, when you're cutting carpet, you wanna cut it into like 3 to 4 foot sections, or even 5 foot, so that way it's easier to carry. Also, it makes cleaning up a lot easier because you can use the rolled up pieces to throw away your trash. Plan for today is to demo the carpet, try to throw away all the trash, and then cut out my holes for my electrical, hopefully. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see here, I'm cutting the carpet to 5 foot sections, rolling it up, and the underlayment, I'm actually going to use that for throwing away the tack strips because they're very sharp, so be careful with those. And when you take them up, you want to hit it on a nail that's holding it down to the subfloor. Because if you hit it anywhere else, the tack strips are most likely going to break, and then it makes it a nightmare to clean up. And for the light cutouts, what I did, I went up top to the actual attic, and I used the duct that was already there, blown air into the room as a reference point. And that's how I got the first one. Then from there, I just did 4 foot down and 4 foot to the right. And it was pretty easy to wire the lights in because I already had a 14-3 coming off the switch. Here's the finished demo. I have all the electrical installed, carpet ripped up and ready to throw away. Now I'm gonna just clean trash and tape off everything I'm not gonna paint. I'm gonna tape off all the outlet, all the trim. You don't wanna paint the trim a different color and then go back and paint it because it's gonna take forever. It takes about 3 coats to get that thing back to white. So yeah, the next step is to prep for paint. I really don't recommend leaving your tape in a cold area because what happened to my tape is that I guess it lost its adhesive nature to it. Being in the cold garage, and I had to retape some things off camera, but yeah, it didn't stick as well and it was pretty aggravating. So yeah, keep your tape somewhere warm or just buy a new roll of tape at your local store. Alright, I'm pretty much prepped for paint now. I'm gonna just fix some of the tape. Try to record just one wall. I don't want to get paint on my camera. So yeah, the next step is the paint. So I'm spraying, and I like spraying over rolling just because it's faster. It's not faster for the first coat, but for 2 coats and more, it is faster than rolling and brushing. That is a fact. Alright, we're all done painting, and we even got our electrical installed, and I gotta change the color of that light right there. And I did accidentally paint some of the trim because the tape wasn't sticking well. I guess it's because it was in my garage all night and it was cold. But yeah, the next step is gonna be doing the floor, and I'm actually gonna show you the first part on how I installed the first 2 rows, and then from there it's gonna be a time lapse again. Okay, so for the first step, what you wanna do is get enough pieces to go from wall to wall. For me, it's 3 full pieces, and then I'm gonna have to make a cut. I'm not gonna button it up to the wall just yet, but get it close. For the back, you're gonna wanna button it up almost to the wall. For the first piece, all you have to do is bring it at an angle, making sure it's flush on this right side right here. And then once you bring it down, it should snap in, just like that. And for the next piece, the same thing. Come in at an angle, making sure it's flush on this side. Because if it's flush on this side, it's going to be flush on the left side. So that's flush. Now, at this stage, you want to put it up to the wall. And the reason for that is, you want to see how the finish is going to look. And you're trying to shoot for 1/4 inch, but sometimes the trim is really off. If it's too off, you can just simply cut it a sliver and attach it to it on the places that is off. But you want at least 1/4 inch, and this is enough room of a gap for it to expand. For this last piece, you don't have to pull out a tape measure. You can if you want, but if your walls are pretty much almost square, you're fine. You can get away with this. All you have to do, instead of connecting it the regular way, you flip it backwards, get it 1/4 inch away from the wall, make a line at where it connects. Now you're ready to cut. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with my cut piece. It's really square. I use the miter saw. It's probably the best saw to use for this. Doing the same thing. You're coming at an angle. You're getting it flush on that right side, pressing down, and you're coming down until you hear a little snap, and it snaps in. Now, since I buttoned it up to the wall over here, I can scoot it forward enough where I can have the reveal the same. I never go off of the walls because the walls are sometimes not square. So right now I have a pretty good gap on this side, and on the back side. So this is the back side right now, and then this is the inside. And then the front over there is the same as the back side. I can only fit maybe almost my pinky in there. And that should be enough for an expansion gap. You want to shoot for 1/4 inch. I'm sorry if I didn't explain it that well or clearly enough. To be honest, if I had to explain every single step of this process in detail, it would probably be like a 3-hour long video and I still wouldn't be able to cover everything. So yeah, try to keep it as short as I can. And yeah, if you have any more questions, you know, always leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them the best I can. But yeah, especially with these floors, it's always hard when it comes to the first 2 to 3 rows. You go to install the 4th row and it moves very easily. So my best advice, like I gave in my last video, is when you're hammering it in, to be on top of the floor. Don't do it from the subfloor to the floor. No, I like to stand on top of my floor and then hammer it in. And over here I'm installing the trim. I didn't get a record of after when I finished the floor, so yeah, I began on the trim right after. I just got done finished installing and painting the trim. And this is how it's looking. I just gotta clean up a little bit and then stage it. Yeah, I don't think my camera's recorded when I did the floating shells, but it's pretty straightforward. And over here I did 2 coats of the white on the trim. And just like that, we are done. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you have any questions about what I did or how I did it, please leave a comment and I'll try to answer it. That's my ability. And I'm just gonna take a video of the entire room of everything I did when it came to the lights, the floors, and paint. And even these little floating shells over here add some detail to the room. And the floors, they're a Pergo brand. They're from Lowe's. They're pretty good. I've never had any problem with them. They've never snapped up on me on any job I've done before. But yeah, if you want to see more of this, I plan on remodeling my entire house, even though it's kind of new. But you know what they say, a house isn't a home yet until you make it into one. So stay tuned for that.